once again, the Indianapolis Colts have a chance to position themselves in a nice spot atop of the AFC South, and they come out flat. They come out playing like garbage. Offense doesn't show up. Happy about the defense. Happy with Chase McLaughlin. Offense, terrible. Coaching, terrible. Defense was the bright spot, along with Chase McLaughlin. It's tiring, and I can't imagine how tiring it is for the defense to go out there, get stops, get these turnovers, just to have the offense give the ball away, and do absolutely nothing with it. So the defense today, they carried this team. They contained Henry. They did their job. They more than did their job. The only offense that the Titans scored was the touchdown that Matt Ryan threw to Adams. Yeah, Matt Ryan threw the pick six. That was the only touchdown that the Tennessee Titans scored. Yeah, Henry had a couple of big runs, like 9, and a big one at the end. But he was held in check. The defense did their job in that department. The pass rush, it was okay. It was okay. You know, they got to Ryan Tannehill a few times. It wasn't terrible. But the thing I'm questioning is, when Matt Ryan, I keep calling Ryan Tannehill Matt Ryan. When Ryan Tannehill was injured at the end of the game, there was a 3rd and long. Why don't you blitz him? Why don't you send an extra rusher? Because he can't roll out. He's stumbling. He can't move. He's hobbling. And you don't send an extra guy? Tannehill isn't the greatest quarterback under pressure like that. You send a guy and he can't move. He can't throw on the run. He would never got that pass off. Would have been 4th down. The Colts would have gotten their chance to go down and score a touchdown and take the lead. But why would the offense, why would you get your hopes up for this offense to do anything? I don't get why you don't blitz a hurting quarterback that is best when he's off platform throwing on the run and like a bootleg outside the pocket. Why don't you contain him and send pressure from the inside? So Zaire Franklin missed a few tackles. Crucial one on 3rd down. Crucial one. Late in the game, 3rd down, and he gets juked out by a tight end. Zaire, you've been good. You've been solid this season. But you came up short when it mattered most there. It's something to keep an eye on. And it's kind of aggravating. I respect what you have done. I love what you have done. But if you really want to be that difference maker, the big playmaker, you have to make that tackle. You have to make that tackle. Bring the Titans to 4th down. You have to. Meanwhile, EJ's speed continues to make some pretty big plays. Got in the backfield a few times. He had a few nice tackles. I'm impressed with EJ's speed. He tackled Henry by himself. Yeah, he did that. Grover Stewart continues to be phenomenal. He has been such an amazing presence in the middle. Him and Buckner have been amazing, which has really helped Unique Ngakoue and whoever is on the other side, whether it's Deo, Tyquan Lewis. We're really missing Kwity Paye a little bit in the run game, but the run game was okay today. How much are we missing Darius Leonard right now? Defense is playing fine without him. I don't get it. I don't get it. Red zone defense was insane. The Titans converted touchdowns in every red zone trip until they played the Colts. The Colts didn't allow a touchdown in the red zone. Titans kicked 2 field goals in the red zone, I think. And the Titans scored touchdowns every trip to the red zone before that. But, like I said, the only touchdown that the Titans scored was the pick 6 that Matt Ryan threw. And another thing is, it's about time that Gus Bradley played Isaiah Rodgers a little more than Brendan Facyson. Because Isaiah Rodgers is a playmaker, And the few times he had the chance to make a tackle, he made the tackle. Brandon Fastion last week, he let some miss some big tackles, and look what happened. Look at the difference with Isaiah. I mean, I'm not saying it's all just a cornerback making the difference, but Isaiah Rodgers made some pretty big tackles that could have been big gains if it wasn't a good tackle. So, not really too much to pick apart with the defense. There's really not. Defense did their part. And I know towards the end of the game, they allowed a few, they're not great with getting right off the field sometimes. That could be better. But, I mean, the offense doesn't help them at all. It's like, boy, oh boy, is this offense hard to watch. And especially when you have to be a guy on the defense, be like, oh, well, let's get ready for defense because this offense isn't going to do anything. Matt Ryan is a turnover machine. Missing Carson Wentz, he had way more big playmaking ability than Matt Ryan, even if he had a lot of turnovers as well. But Matt Ryan has more turnovers than Carson Wentz right now. More interceptions and more fumbles. I get it. There were quite a few times where Carson Wentz could have had a ball picked off. Could have had a few passes picked off. Should have been picked off. And that's happening with Matt Ryan. The ones that should have been picked off for Carson Wentz are being picked off for Matt Ryan. And you see it all the time in the game, constantly. Matt Ryan just throws it into the ground when you have an open receiver in the flat. These cute little swings to the running back. I get it. Once in a while is okay. But you know how many times they did it last week? Probably 4 or 5 times. This week they did it a few times again. Those cute little running back swings aren't going to work all game. They're not going to work. Why would teams worry about, backing up a little bit if all Matt Ryan could do is throw short? Why would they? Why would they? I wouldn't. I'm not scared of Matt Ryan. The offensive line was okay today, though. But Matt Ryan was still garbage. The offensive line gave him time. But you still see many times where Matt Ryan just doesn't get the ball there. You can kind of see it. He doesn't have the arm anymore. And with him throwing what? How many times did he throw this game? 40 sometimes? 42 times? Last game, he threw 58 times. 44 times he threw. He threw 44 times. Taylor had 10 carries. That was expected. I wasn't expecting Taylor to have a big workload. And, even though Frank Reich said he would, wasn't expecting it coming off the high ankle sprain. Wasn't expecting it. I am hindsight a few carries. Didn't do much. Deion Jackson had a pitch. Didn't do anything. It's just, why don't you pitch the ball to Jonathan Taylor? What? It's just so frustrating. Week in and week out. It's the reason why us Colts fans, especially me, the reason why I'm so pissed off, I'm so aggravated, is because I know that this team is capable of being a much better team than they are. Heck only knows. Gosh only knows. How does this team have 3 wins? How? We're 3-3, and we have scored so many less. If you look at the points against and points for, it's like a negative 20 some difference. We're 3-1 with the tie. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Paris Campbell looked good. I mean, I guess that's one of the bright spots. Campbell looked pretty good for 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, Campbell stepped up. And it seems like these wide receivers are stepping up. But now it's the quarterback. It's kind of been the quarterback, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The offensive line was our strength for so long. And you let Chris Reed go. You let Mark Lewinsky go, and you're feeling it. I do whatever you have to do over on the left side right now. But honestly, how much worse can it get if you just start Bernard Raymond? Just let him get the valuable reps in because we're not going anywhere this year. So where is, why would you have urgency? This team isn't going anywhere. You can't score more than 10 points in a game. You can't score more than you can't score more than 10 points versus one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. You can't pass for 200 yards. 195 yards versus one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. I know the Titans have a good defense. They have good talent. It's just not going. It's not gelling right now. Maybe it's a start of them gelling, but nonetheless, the Colts still suck. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. The Colts suck. The offense sucks. Still, no points, nothing in the first quarter. Absolutely nothing. Wouldn't be shocked if the Bears and the Panthers have more first quarter points than we did. They probably do. It's disgusting. And why aren't the tight ends getting involved? I get it, the receivers haven't been playing well. They've been doing better. But those tight ends are much easier targets for Matt Ryan to throw to. It's much more difficult to overthrow them. Even though Matt Ryan can't even get the ball here to start with. So, half the time. So, let's not even go with overthrowing, okay? Last year we had an overthrowing issue. This year we have an underthrowing issue. And it doesn't help when Frank Reich doesn't get his team ready. Week in and week out, what happened to this offense having good scripts to start the game at least? What happened to those at least? What happened from last year to this year? Jim Irsay, Matt Ryan, who's leadership of Peyton Manning. I don't give a shit if you can't get the ball to a wide receiver that's 10 yards out. If you can't get it there consistently. I don't care if he's going to throw 2 interceptions right to the Titans. I don't care. At the end of the day, yeah, leadership is amazing. Jacoby Brissett had amazing leadership. Phillip Rivers had amazing leadership. Phillip Rivers was, even though his arm was probably worse than Ryan's at the time, Rivers could still get there on the checkdowns. Rivers did. I'm just trying to get to the point that leadership is important, but it's not everything. I get it. It's kind of is everything with your franchise guy. I'm trying to get at a point here where, at the end of the day, how are you comparing him to Peyton Manning right now? How? How could you put Matt Ryan in the same breath, in the same sentence as Peyton Manning? I get it. Peyton Manning had, a better cast too at the time, but Peyton Manning was the system. Peyton Manning got it. I don't even know why I'm trying to compare Matt Ryan and Peyton Manning right now. I don't. This is how bad it has gotten. It's bad. It's bad. It's grinding out long drives, going to third down in every set of downs. It's not the way to go. Where has it gotten us? We can't convert on third downs. We can't run the ball efficiently, consistently. And no teams are scared of the deep ball because Matt Ryan can't get it there. The Colts lead the NFL in 10-plus play drives. That tells you everything you need to know. An offense doesn't need to... An efficient offense that wins games doesn't need to grind out these long drives that eventually, half of them, lead to nothing. Half the time, you get close to the red zone, in the red zone, past the 50, you fumble, you throw an interception, you shoot yourselves in the foot, and you can't just get anything going. Time and time again, when it's a big game, a chance to improve your positioning and standings, seeds, maybe just in the division, the opportunity is never taken. You never take the opportunity. It's always left out there. The team hasn't been ready once this year. Frank Reich hasn't put a good starting script. You know, a good 13, 14 plays. Yeah, where is that? It's gone after the first drive and a half, or, you know, maybe 5 drives if you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, or maybe you get 10 plus drives and you get nothing. Then when Frank Reich is off the script, he's even worse. He's worse either way. I don't know how this team has 3 wins. I seriously don't. The Broncos should have beaten us. You know, we were down 14-3 to the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, and you can't play your best football when your backs are against the wall. You can't play your best football when you're desperate for it. You need to play your best football 60 minutes. You need to play good football for 60 minutes, not just 10 minutes, not just 15 minutes. You have to play a full 60 minutes. Special teams, man. Chase McLaughlin, I don't know why we didn't keep him when we had him. I don't know why. I don't know, like, if Chris Ballard was trying to be right, was like, oh, I got this, guys. This guy is better. Let's prove everyone wrong. Yeah, look what happened proving everyone wrong. If you had Chase McLaughlin in the beginning of the season, maybe even in the Buffalo game, in the playoffs, you make that field goal. Maybe that's all the difference to move on, beating Buffalo, that eventually went to Kansas City in the conference championship, and that's what it took to take down Buffalo. We pushed Buffalo to the limits with Phillip Rivers, Pittman, weapons, and we struggled that day too. We put them to the limits. We pushed them to the limits. And now, I can't. You know, and if you had Chase McLaughlin in the beginning of the year, that's not a tie. That's not a tie. Somehow we have 4 wins and 3 losses. If we somehow win this game, we're 5 and whatever. But there's a lot of ifs. There's Chase McLaughlin has been awesome, and then I get it. Our punter is injured. I'm not really gonna get too incredibly mad, but Matt Hack is terrible. He can't even punt the ball. You can't even punt it over 40 yards. He can't pin teams and deep in their own territory. He doesn't have the precision. We're missing Rigoberto Sanchez. Matt Hack is terrible. And right now, I'm so aggravated. But at the same time, I'm ready to deal with this roller coaster of a season. Whether Frank Reich is fired today on Monday, whether he's not, it's not like anything is going to change anyways. It's not like we're going to improve by next week and put up 40 points against the Commanders. The Commanders just beat the Packers, by the way. And the Panthers just put up 21 on the Buccaneers. Oh, and by the way, the only Colts touchdown in the the only Colts touchdown in the first quarter was off that muff punt versus KC. Somehow we beat Kansas City, and thank goodness to the defense. Thank goodness to the defense. It's just like, it's so puzzling. So puzzling. Jim Irsay all chips in. Yeah, Jim Irsay, you better get up and you better find a new general manager, find a new head coach. I'd be willing to give Chris Ballard a shot if he got a chance to draft a franchise guy. But you know what? He could have. He had the chance to. Other teams, like, let's see. Other teams, we had, okay, now I can think of as I was just going to say. But Bears moved up for Fields. I know Fields isn't looking the greatest, but they're not scared to make a mistake to go and get the franchise guy. Chris Ballard's like, oh, if we draft the wrong guy, you guys are going to run me out of town. If you don't draft anyone, if you don't make an attempt, you're going to be ran out of town anyways. He's too stubborn. He wants to be right. He wants to be the one, he wants to be the smartest one in the room. And Frank Reich just overthinks it too. Chris Ballard overthinks it. Chris Ballard, stubborn, conservative. I'm tired of it. But I'm willing to give, I don't even know if I'm willing to give Ballard, another shot, because he had his chance to maybe trade up and go get it and draft a franchise guy. He didn't. And will he? No. We'll probably be set off to go with another veteran next year when we can get Tom Brady. Really? What are we going to get, like Jared Goff or something next year? Would it surprise you? No. So, this is all I got for you guys today. Next week, we have the Washington Commanders coming to town. And honestly, I hate to say this as a fan, but I hope we get our rear ends kicked in. And I hope Jim Irsay finally decides to cut some losses to get some guys out of here. Because if we keep winning, if we get second in the division, we're a few games behind, Jim Irsay's gonna be like, oh yeah, you don't fire a head coach, you don't move on if you're second in the division. If you're, unless you're third or fourth, then you move on. But it just seems like that's how it's gonna be if we're not like one of the worst teams. And you know how mad Jim Irsay will be if, all the smack he's talking about Washington, Snyder, I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to get controversial. But Jim Irsay is digging in over there. And I don't agree with a lot of things that Snyder does. I don't like the guy. But if you lose to the Commanders, to Carson Wentz, Jim Irsay talked a lot of crap about, Irsay is going to have some fire in his eyes. And I think that's when Frank Reich is fired. Let's just hope. So all I got for you guys today. A little bit of a longer one, but I had a lot to talk about. It was a review. I had to go through it all. Had to give you my thoughts. And unfortunately, not all of them were positive. Unfortunately, not much to be happy about. Not much to get excited about. More so, a lot to be aggravated about. And, kind of looking forward to getting ready to rebuild. That's where I think we're heading. Rebuild in a way. I don't know. I don't even know. But you guys let me know what you think about this week. Do you think Frank Reich will be fired during the season? I don't know. I don't think so. Unless you really get blown out by the Commanders, which I kind of hope you do, just so you don't have to keep on going through this mess with Frank Reich and Chris Ballard. I kind of hate to wish that on my team. I can't believe I am, but, Frank Reich needs to go. And that's all I got for you guys today. So thank you for tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show, where your fans welcome. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos, content. Lots of content coming up this week. So that's all I got for you to do. This is all I got for you today. This is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.